Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? I decided to come on tonight. Um hadn't been on in a while. Oh, there's a lot been going on, so I just haven't had time. Busy with family and a whole lot of other things. So I decided to come on, small quick chat. Maybe I'll come on sometime tomorrow and give you guys more of a rundown. Um I just got off another live not too long ago, and kind of funny, you know. We've been in the reborn community. I guess there's been a lot of things going on with people and opinions and people getting upset about it. Hey, um, I can barely see. I don't know what's going on. Let me see my glasses. So anyway, I can't see. Okay, Jody. So I was actually on your live. That's what I was talking about. I've been as y'all know, I worked a lot, and I've always tried to catch your lives doing the jobs and all that. Well, I've been helping family. Uh, had to slow down on the reborns and a lot of different things. So I've decided that I was gonna slow down on reborning and doing the babies and all that kind of stuff. So I slowed down a little bit. So then I was having problems on the job even before I was, it's been about a year having some problems on the job. As y'all know, uh, I used to work for Sprouts. And when I say used to, as of not this past Saturday, but the Saturday, what was that, the 5th, I believe, I was let go behind um, stupid stuff like customer complaints. Somebody said that I didn't do something or whatever, their word against mine, or I didn't want to help them. Their opinion of me helping them meant I didn't want to help them because, I'm not a cashier, but I have to stop whatever I'm doing to go check or whatever it is that they're doing. And they don't understand in retail. Most of the time, the managers are doing 3 or 4 different jobs. So they're not always right there. So we've had a lot of issues um, that way. And so I've, um, in the meantime, I've kept doing my job. Well, I mean, what else were you supposed to do? You work. You have to pay your bills. You have to eat. You have to put gas in your car, keep your car running. Whatever it is that you need to do, the reason you have a job in the first place. So I went to work. I had been asking for some time off because my son and his wife were having a baby. I say my son and daughter. She's not just a wife; she's a daughter. And I asked for a certain amount of time off because this was the first baby. And for some reason, they wouldn't give it to him. He kept beating around the bush, saying somebody else had to ask for the vacation or, things like that. And so I don't know if I need to do her hair. I might do her hair in a minute. Um, so anyway, I went to work and the day that they were gonna induce her, and they wouldn't let me off. Nobody would agree for me to leave. As many times that I had left my bed to go on that job to relieve somebody else, they couldn't relieve me this night. So they did induce my daughter, and so with the inducing, and her mother couldn't be there right then at that time. It was a lot of things going on, and she wanted me there, and I couldn't be there, and um, so happened she didn't have her that night. Hey, so um, Jody. So in the midst of me, the next day, I went to the hospital with her, and she was in labor and all. And they were had tried to induce her the night before, and it wasn't working. Well, then they finally got to the point where they said they were gonna do an epidural, they were gonna do this, they were gonna do that. So I called in and told them early that I couldn't make it. So in the meantime, I have a new grandbaby. So, which was great. I'm but I was supposed to have that week off anyway. So I go to work the next day. Of course, I go in as normal. Lines are hanging long, managers on their butt. I go in, look around, get on the register. In the midst of me on the register, they're calling me to the office, and I'm like, I'm checking. What you want me to do? So he has this other manager that hadn't been working at all. He's getting on the register trying to hear him get me off. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So they call me in the office, and of course they let me go. And, so I've been going through that too. Well, they took my vacation back, didn't want to give me that. They decided they are trying to hold on to let me go, so it's creating issues for unemployment or anything like that. It's just making it complicated. So, in the midst of all those things going on, I'm still, enjoying my life. I can't, hold it. I still have my father, still have people here around me. So I do have the support. But then when you think about, behind customer service and some little bitty tags that go on a shelf that has nothing to do with pricing, and that's what you're using to like, that was just crazy to me. So that's all well, so that's what's been going on with me. I just been busy. I've been, doing other things, and every time I want to do something, I'm doing something for somebody else, which I always do. And it's still, you know, I wouldn't take it back, but I just felt like I needed to let you guys know what had been going on with me. Um, I'm still working on the babies. This is what scope is this? This is the Aria scope Bountiful Babies. Um, this is the first one, and I don't know if I can't say for sure that I've completed her. I need to wet her hair down and brush it. I still think I need to take a little bit off the top to give it more of that baby look. But this is, basically my first reborn that I've actually finished. I have three more reborns, and um 5 silicones, 3 that I need to completely finish, and 2 that I need to, go over just a little bit more. I wanted to get some more shading, but I think I did a pretty decent job, for a first. You know, I don't know if y'all can see my lighting's all off. Yeah, it is. I've noticed when I clip a little bit at a time, I catch it, but it is hard, Jordan, trying to get that right. Um, I think I got the back, basically the bottom, but this top part is where I'm having the problem trying to get that right. And getting it right over the ears without making it blunt and but I like the little ones and I like them floppy. So I'm still trying to decide if I want to. Yeah, the back is okay. It's the top I can't get. I've got to trim it down, and I'm not sure how long I'm gonna do it. I don't know whether to pull it forward and do it, or a little bit at a time till I get it quite right. I think I'll clip it this way because the back, because it shows her little scalp, and this is shorter in here, and I figured that part out, but it's the top I'm scared to cut because then I don't want it too short. But I'm gonna get it. I'll get it. But no, I don't know. I'm doing pretty good though. I'm looking for another job. I think I'm gonna drop retail altogether. I think I've had enough of retail. Um, Customer base has become a little harsh. People are so selfish to where everything has to be their way, and if it's not their way, they are just desperate to fire you. So get you fired. So, but I'm just glad I'm in a position where I can help my cousins and do things for people and um, but yeah, I what else have I been doing? I've been doing a lot of things. It's I went downsized my nursery to so that's another reason why y'all haven't seen the nursery. I was working on it, and I had the cousins. The cousins are more important than the dolls. We on your channel earlier we were talking about that, Jody. Where dolls are not a necessity. They're more of a want. They're something that you desire, you want, your hobby, so it shouldn't come first. So if it comes down to me putting somebody in my house with a roof over their head and somewhere warm and not on the street, the babies have to be put aside, and that's basically where they are. Because this, even though this is the same crib from the beginning, this is in a corner in actually my bedroom, and I put all the nursery stuff in my bedroom, and I'm trying to figure out how to reorganize it because I have too much. We were talking about too much. I have a crib, two bassinets, two swings, a cradle. Um, what else I have? Probably three bath seats because I gave my son and his wife two of them because they're two different sizes than the ones they have, and when they get through, they're gonna give them back. I have so many clothes that my daughter, she came over and she shopped my clothes, and I still have too many. And I told her, I said, well, when you get through with those, bring them back, come back and shop the rest. The baby can't wear the 3 to 6 months yet, but the baby can wear the newborn. So I do recycle and give them. She's got some of my blankets. I told her if she needs bottles, to come get the bottles. If she needs passies, she can have the passies. Um, I have a shoebox, that plastic shoebox being full of pacifiers. I have beads. I have yarn. I have material. I have batting. I have, if I have one bag of pellets, I've got two. The big pellets, like a gallon tank. And I'm like, oh, stuffed animals to make binky things. I've got boxes of those. And all I got this from thrift stores and sales and stuff. And I look back on, I was on Beautiful Place, Jody. I keep saying, I say Jody because I'm so used to calling you Jody. And you said, how many babies did we have? I had to think about that. And when I started thinking about the babies, I thought about all the accessories. I have blankets. I have sheets. I have bassinet sheets. I have crib sheets. I have bumper guards. I have clothes. I mean, when I say tubs of clothes, boy and girl. And I'm like, I don't need all this. I don't need all this. What am I doing? At first, it was more of a hobby, something for me to learn how to do, which I do. I kind of push myself into learning new things. But then I love dolls all my life, so it became more of a passion, and I just kept going. I would go in the store and I think, oh, I need to go see what they got over there new. It got to the point where I go in the store. It could be Walmart, it could be Target, it could be um, and I didn't have to be going for baby stuff. I just go in the store and I start saying, oh, I need to go check out the baby section, and then it got that bad, and I had to stop. And I said, well, no, if I'm gonna buy baby stuff, I'm going to the thrift store. Well, I go in the thrift store and they'd have a sale. One particular thrift store would have a bag sale. You put so much stuff in this bag for $5. Well, I work retail, and so when I go somewhere, I know how to bag stuff up to where it fits tight and it's more than people would think. So I come out with two bags, but when I wash and clean that stuff, it ended up being a tub full. And it was, what was I thinking? You know, and so basically, I almost cleared the baby section, except for I was only buying newborn and preemie to newborn then, and it was like, oh my God, shoes, socks. I can't even tell you. I have a whole little, I guess you can say, about the size of a pillowcase full of nothing but cloth diapers. I mean, it's terrible. So I started giving, stuff away. I mean, what else can you do? Or I think I'm gonna have to start making bracelets and maybe selling them on Amazon. So I don't know, on something. It's just too much. You gotta control too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like you said, it's an addiction. And it's expensive. When the first thing I decided was I wanted a silicone baby. Now, that's how it all started. I wanted to find out how they made the silicone babies. That was my first thing. But first, I wanted one. When I went online, found somebody, talked to them, and they were acting funny about how much it cost. And then I started finding out how much they cost, and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not. That's too much. Let me figure out how to make this. I'm not. I learned how to figure it out. No, just so happened, um, one of the main silicone places, or the product for silicone, just buying silicone, making other things for, they do hands, whatever they use the silicone for, happens to be in my uh county. So I went to the store and I looked at it and I told him what I was trying to do. And he told me, and I said, and I guess I gotta buy some clay. He said, no, I have some clay. So he shows me this clay that if you warm it, you keep sculpting it over and over. And I just kept playing with it till I got what I wanted. I mean, the clay is a whole lot cheaper than buying the polymer clay. Polymer clay gets hard, you can't reuse it. This clay, every time I warm it, I can reuse it. I can warm it in a crock pot and it becomes almost liquefied. So, or well, it can become liquefied, but I don't warm it that warm. So I started out sculpting it and went back to there, and they told me how to make a mold, and I made the mold. Well, my first mold came out a little crappy, and that's why I haven't showed those babies, because I need to go in, and it's harder once you mold it to make changes to it, because if you cut too far, you have to put some more silicone on top. It can be, time consuming. So the main important thing for making your own silicone baby is to make sure beyond a reasonable doubt when you make that sculpt is perfect, just like you want it. So I learned that. But in the long run, what I spent on that, you might would be. I don't know, Jody. I mean, if you were focused and thinking about it, and the fact that you have all those reborns already, you could probably figure it out a lot easier than me. I didn't have any image to go from. If I had a image or a just a figurine or anything to go from. And my daughter had suggested, but it was after the fact, that maybe I should have just bought a doll out of the store and looked at it to get like the proportions of the head with the body and the arms and the length and stuff. But what I was doing was going by things that they were talking about, making a pattern for a baby, where they would say a hat for this size baby, clothes for this size baby. That's how I ended up getting my proportions pretty close. I mean, they're not perfect, but they're close. They really are kind of close. The more and more I measure and I look and I see, they're pretty close. But I did that by measurements more than anything. And I was actually measuring the arms from the armpits like I was a seamstress. But you already have the baby, so you could look at it, and you've been seeing these babies for a while, so you could probably look at it easier. But I did the mole, the first mole. Oh God, that was a big mess. I had a hole in between the toes, and so I was sat it in something to hold it while I was pouring, and it was full of sand, so it was slowly seeping, and I could never figure out why it was coming. By the time I figured out what was going on, I had lost part of the silicone, and I couldn't put it back because it was in the sand. Had it been just in a plain bucket, I could have poured it back in, after I sealed it or held it to, got solid point, and then on top of that, he was giving me the slower silicone so that it would allow me time to learn. Which if I had had the fast silicone, it would have sealed itself quicker. So I've learned that. You learn things as you go. I could tell people a lot more now than I could have then. So my thing is the second mole I did, which were the twins that everybody sees. I did a whole lot better than the first. The first looked more like some alien babies. So if I had turned them into, say, a not a fairy, but maybe a troll baby or something like that, they would have worked out fine. But I'm gonna augment them and make them more like a baby. One's gonna have probably a little longer neck because of the way the mold came out, and when I was trying to fix it, it actually changed the structure of the mold itself because I was trying to fix it. But that's how all this whole thing started. Because after they came out, when I was working on them, I said, "Oh, I gotta have some clothes. Oh, I gotta have this. Oh, they need shoes. Oh, they need that. Oh, they need this. Oh, they need that. Oh, I'm gonna do this." The grandbaby wanted one. She didn't want the ones I had before because they were too heavy. So that's how I got the preemies. Boy, so I did the preemies for her and me and all, and her and her sister and me, and so I did a total of 4 from that one scope, and I may have used part of what I had left over plus what I bought. So in the long run, as far as products, as far as just silicone, I haven't spent uh I haven't even gotten that close to the amount for the one doll that I was gonna buy. And with her being so funny about her pricing and stuff, it made me not want to. And when I was gonna go get one from oh, I can't remember the name of the doll company now. Doll Connection store. Every time I went to go get those two, and those two priced together were over 3,000. So I haven't spent that at all. I mean, not that much as far as because I've been thrifty. But if I bought all the things that I've bought, it's a lot. It's a lot. If I go trying to replace everything that I bought, I've spent a lot of money, a lot. And just so happened this bed used to be my grandbaby's, and I'm thinking about painting it white. So I do things like that. I'm a little crafty and a little, uh, I like to do things. I may leave it the same color and go, restain it. I don't know. I've been thinking, but it's expensive. I mean, I'm thinking about how many mouths I could have fed or something else. But I do like the dogs. I love the dogs. I love dogs. I've always loved dogs. It's not even a issue with me. But I love the dogs, and so you know, I probably will never completely stop. But I know that I'm gonna stop for a moment and slow down. You know, build up get the next job, build up a savings account, um, get back on my feet like I like, and then I'll start all over. You know, thank God for 401k. Thank God for my parents. Both of them are still here. Thank God for every my kids. I do have four, and everybody that's assisted me. But that's not what I wanted. The job was just crazy. Yeah, yeah, but yeah. Well, thanks. But oh yeah, I got earrings. Every time I look at something else, I can tell you something else I've got too much of. I got packages of earrings because I have this girl, the twin girl, the triplet girl, because the other um mold, I had three, two boys and a girl. Um, and then I've got this Aria sculpt, the Landon, the lavender, and I can't remember what that last sculpt was. But and then I had a little porcelain baby. So when I started counting, I think I told you eight, but it's actually 10. So that's too many. That's way too many. And it was more me trying to learn how to paint at one point. That's why I bought the reborns because I knew they were easier to paint, and I was trying to get down, like the shadowing and the blushing and the mottling and the creasing and the eyebrow. I was trying to get all that together because I feel like if I'm going to continue in the hobby, I need to learn how to paint them to where I can either sell them, to make it worth my while some kind of way so I can still enjoy the hobby, but then, pass it on some kind of way. I've got a ways to go though. I know that. And I need to learn all skin tones, not to be racial at all, but I need to learn all skin tones. Uh, you know, and when I'm saying all, I mean black, white, Oriental, Indian, all the different tones, period, of any culture, anything. And that's what I really want to learn every day. So, um, I do, no orange. I don't know. I might do a fairy in orange. I thought about that too, doing maybe fantasy baby. Um, and you know how they do the avatars and all blue and purple. I was thinking about doing fairies in different colors, and have a rainbow fairy. But no, I've learned a lot even from my cousin. I've got a couple of cousins that paint. One, she told me, and that's how I guess I got the skin tones as close as I did, how to use the same base color and then add the like if my skin tone was say caramel colored, and I would take that same caramel color and put the you had a blue, which one? The orange baby was blue? Your first baby you did. I did. Which one? The orange one you're talking about, Jody? I didn't think you ever did your own blue baby. No, but you know, you actually when you did the reddish on the things, that was, red and yellow make orange. So you actually did a good thing. Your first one was a red baby. Yeah. When I first started with the triplets, as I call them, and eventually I'm gonna get through with all of them so I can show them all. They were uh they were a plain blank beige with too much red and green, because I was trying to use the green and as the shadowing because of the skin tone I was doing, which if I had known how to do it, it could have turned out oriental looking. So those I'm gonna go back and redo. But thing with that is silicone is not as easy to change as the reborn. And everybody says reborning is really hard. It is. Both of them are. They're so different. The paint is so different. It's I can't even explain it. I I did some veining. I don't think you can see it on this one. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it on this one, but I did do some veining. I figured out the veining. I do it in the very first step. Like if I do one layer of neutralizing color, I take uh something real narrow like a toothpick, and I do the veining. And then I do everything else over the top of the veining. Cuz where they some of the stages that I've seen where they do the veining like the third or fourth step, that don't work for me cuz the veins are too bold when you don't do it like in that first step. That's the only way I could do them to where they're okay. I think on the bigger babies you really see the veining, but if you look like you can't see what I'm seeing, but when you look you do see the green in this one in the veins because she's got a vein going right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's actually coming out, but it I had to do it on the first step because when I tried the veining with the first the triplets, it didn't. I couldn't get it right. So I was using a blue green, and I think that's why I did the green to counteract the veining. But now I know to do the veining and then do all the modeling and all that other stuff along with it. And then if they're not dark enough, then I go back over it very lightly. Yeah, yeah, the very first stage. Because if you mess up, see, she's got veining here, and it's really light. And I don't like mine to where I want you to have to look at it to see the veining. I think I'm gonna do one of my next ones with more veining though, to where you can see a little bit better. I'm getting used to that a little more. Yeah, but I love the veining. I just use a very small tip. Hold on, my TV came on. And all that noise in the back. But no, I use a very fine tip to get the veining. Hey, Millie. Um, Yeah. Yeah. She was covered with blue. She was. Oh man. Yeah. Your Mishka is cute. I like the fact that all your babies, even though you use the same colors, kind of, sort of, they all still look different, except for when you making them actually dark. Even every time you do one, they're different. The skin tones are different. I think that's nice. Yeah, well, they should be different. I'm trying to get mine different. I can't quite get the. I can get them looking different. They're different babies, and I can kind of do the blushing a little different. But I really got to learn the different skin tones. I really do. And that was really how I ended up with all these babies, because I'm trying to learn all these different skin tones. Like her lips were more apricot. I've turned them a little pinker now, and I've got one that's his lips are a little bit different, and they're all different, but they're kind of in the same base color, but not the same color. Yeah, even the twins are different. He's a little darker than she is. Thanks, Millie. But I was thinking I'm gonna cut her hair in the top a little bit, just a little bit. Everybody says the rooting is nice, but I think I like the rooting. I like doing it. I don't know why I like doing it. Um, I like trying to get the edges right. No, I'm gonna trim, like, when it's coming forward. I'm gonna trim it enough to where it's not in the face, and I'm hoping that it will offset. Like, this is a little too long right near. I think this part of the edge is okay on the side. I got that pretty good, but just tad bit. It's a tad bit. And then I use human hair too, so it's like I'm not using that extra fine, so I have to be real careful because it's a little bit coarser, and I haven't found like very fine human hair yet. But yeah, more of a creamy look. Now the bigger baby I have, that what is he? Landon. I think Landon is the larger one. There's a lavender and a Landon. Landon, I may do a little bit longer, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna let him stay a boy or a girl. I kind of He kind of has more of a boy look to me. And then the lavender, I'm gonna let her hair be long enough for some little pigtails. So I will do the longer hair on the other two because they're bigger. And then I have another one creamy this size in the boy, and I can't remember what sculpt it is, but I bought these from Bountiful Babies before I heard about all the little stuff going on, and I'm like, wow, you know, I don't know if I can actually do that one. I like their kits and their prices, but I don't know. I have to think on that. Maybe do a little more research and see what's really going on with them. But that was another issue that slowed me down a little bit too. Okay, Jody. I'll see you next time. I'll leave this up if you want to finish looking at it at some point. And you have a good night. And thanks for all the laughs earlier. That was just too funny. Yeah. Yeah, you always have fun on your channel. But I I'm gonna have to slow down on my spending. I may get more videos in. Um I'm trying to get into some type of rhythm to get in more videos. Um I actually enjoy uh watching everybody's channel. Bye bye, Jody. Yeah, I'm not gonna not do my babies that I have because I have four of them total. This one and three others. But I don't know about, I know there's like different forms of the, oh, what should I say, the religion. I don't know if that's a religion, a community, what you want to call it. Some it's just about the women, but some it's about the young kids. And so when you start putting people in there and they're not having a choice to decide that's what they want to do, that's where I kind of have my issue. It's not their lifestyle because everybody is entitled to do whatever they want to, but I think it should be based on a grown person making a decision, not just being born into it and not being able to make a choice, even though they don't know that it's, you know, right or wrong because that's the way they were raised. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to, find out if it's really true, how deep that really is. Um, they may do a whole lot of good things in there and I don't know about it, so I can't go on what I hear. I've got to go on what I really see in black and white. And, I do love the dolls, but the problem is now they're so expensive for me to do. And in the long run, it's cheaper for me to actually do a silicone um, at this point than for me to buy, to do four small silicones than for me to buy four reborn kits. It's cheaper for me to go that route. And so that was another thing I'm thinking. But right now, I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to do nothing else. 10 babies is enough. I got five silicones total that I need to finish three. Need to finish all five, but majorly I need to finish three. And then I have four reborns, and then I have a porcelain baby. And it's like I don't need no more. I got this size preemie, the other two preemies. I've got another preemie like this, and I have uh, the lavender and the Landon, and I think he's 22 and she's 20. I don't need no more, and I keep saying I want a toddler on top of that, and I'm like, I don't need a toddler. But if I bought the silicone, I could probably do two toddlers and another preemie in the one batch. And so it's like it's right here in Dallas with me. If I ever learn how to really get that sculpt perfect, I probably would sell them and just keep doing it just because I like it. And, not to keep them, but I actually enjoy it. It's relaxing to me. Kind of like everybody pose them and they dress them. That part is relaxing too, but the most relaxing part of me is to create them. So, just putting them together. It's not even about majorly about the painting part. It's about me actually doing the sculpt and doing the mold. I enjoy that part. I I have because I took them. I took the eyelashes out and the eyebrows, and I was trying to. I'm trying to perfect my shading and the blushing and all the deep details on them. So every time I look at them, I see something else I want to do, and then I start not start over, but I detail it a little more. So that's why you don't see them that much. Most of the time, if you don't see them, I'm doing something to them. That's where I get my kick. I like changing. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I didn't. Oh, well, okay. Let me outline the lips a little more, or I'll say, oh, the nose is not popping. Let me change that, and and that's what actually happens. I start looking back at it, and I look, maybe look a day or two, and then I go back and I change it. Yeah, the floppy is because they're a mixture of 10. Not the slacker because I didn't have the slacker, but it's thinner, and um, maybe some 20. I can't remember if it was 20 or 30. Maybe a mixture of all three. And he's a little more floppy than she is because he's basically majorly 10, and she has more mixture. And they flop. They really do flop, and the feel of them, if you close your eyes, the feel of them is more like a baby, and that's why I want to get more, the feel and the look. And so if I ever perfect that, I'm in trouble. I'm telling you that now, I'm in trouble because I would still get excited and I'd have to perfect it more. I'm that kind of person. If I make something, I want to go deeper. I want to fix it more. I want to go deeper. And so the more I learn, the worse I'm gonna get. I'm serious. I'm gonna get worse. I'm telling you. So maybe, I keep saying that, but everybody's like, "Yeah, if you get it right, you gonna sell them." And I keep saying, "This is just for me," and they keep saying, "If you get it right, you gonna sell them." And I said, "Well, if I get it right, I guess I will sell them, but I probably won't sell them for $3,000 or $4,000 like everybody else is doing because I think that's robbery. So I probably would never sell them that high. It would have to be a silent auction to where it got that high. It wouldn't be me putting it up for that high. That's high. I'm like, oh God. I had a problem with the with who was that? That was the doll connection store, and that was the cheapest I found. They were fifth with the 1,500 or something like that. I had a problem with that because every time I almost save up to start paying on them, something happened around the house, and if it's a choice between me paying for doll and getting my car fixed, baby, the doll gone bye bye. I just I do have that part put in priority. When I bought this baby, this kit, it was uh shoot 50% off something, and I had to look at it twice. And I said, "Do I want to spend that?" She got such a cute nose. Oh, I love that baby. And I looked at it again. I said, "Well, I don't know if I want to spend that much money. I ain't never did no doll." And I looked back at it. It took me about 3 or 4 times to look at it to decide, okay, yeah, I spent it $20. And I'm not like cheap because my kids were rotten. My kids every Nintendo 8-bit, they had the Super Nintendo, they had the 64, whatever, the PlayStations. My kids had pretty much library of games when they were coming up. I am not cheap, but it's like my priorities are like different. So like this, people be paying for. I bought this at a thrift store for $4 or something. I don't even know how much this said. When that when I don't spend $20 for most of the stuff I buy. I tell people all the time is, you know, this this hobby is expensive. When you look back and you start adding it up, yes, it's very expensive. But there's a way to get your money's worth out of things, or buy things, at a better price. Yeah, but yeah, it hits you. It hits you. It hits you because when I sat down and I thought about everything I bought, everything I've got. I said this earlier. I've got two bassinets, two swings, a crib, a cradle. I have probably five bath seats total, I think, because I gave two of them to my son and daughter because they just had a baby. I've got three mobiles, and even though I spent maybe $5 all together on the mobiles, um, I think one of the swings it was under 20. I know I didn't spend 20, and one of the other one was given. Some of this stuff is given to me too. And I bought. Oh, I forgot. I have another cradle. I have two cradles, one little bitty one and one big one. So every time I think about it, I can come up with something else. I did not buy a car seat. Don't get me wrong. I did not do. We didn't do the car seat stroller thing. I haven't gotten that far. Um, I had a stroller and I gave it away to somebody that needed a stroller. So I'm not that kind of funny. Um, I don't. I can't say I feel like an idiot. I'm not gonna say that. Oh no no no. $3,000. Oh no 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 no. I'd have to be filthy rich and still think twice because to me I could take that $3,000 and probably feed a family of four for 2 months. You know, I just some things I kind of outweigh a little bit. I'll go to the thrift stores and see uh shirts that have um spots on them, say from milk spots and stuff. And a long time ago, my mother she learned from uh her grandmother and her mother and her great how to get milk spots out of the shirt. So really, when I go and they be talking about a quarter because they throwing it out because it's just messed up, I buy that stuff. And I clean that stuff up, and that's how I got so much. And I'm looking at that stuff on God. My cousin told me, she says, "You don't need no more clothes. You don't need nothing else for and we had talked about it. I don't. My daughter, well, my it's actually my son's wife, and I call her my daughter because I don't have in-laws. Everybody's family. When they in the family, they in the family, and nobody knows just unless they look at us and know we don't look exactly alike. They don't know she's not my daughter. I don't make a difference with her between me, my daughters, and all that. We don't do that. She came over and shot my house. She shot my house. That's how much stuff I had. She shot my house. And I let her. I mean, if she comes over here right now and say, "Mama, I want that can I have that bed set?" Yeah, take it. Right, when you get done, just bring it back. I'll clean it back up. I mean, let's be honest. Cut corners somewhere. It's really for my enjoyment. When I look back, like I'll put her down and lay her down nicely. And when I look back, when I get up in the morning, oh, you got strollers and milk. See, I don't, I ain't got the strollers now. See, I don't have no man running around trying to give me something either. See, I don't. Mm-mm. I ain't found that right one yet. I ain't gonna say I would never get another one, but I ain't found that right one yet. But I've got too much. I really do. And I need to ask her, do she need a mobile? Cause I can't use them, and I think one in particular will match her theme. Yeah, one of them would match her theme perfectly. I need to give it to her. So thank God I don't have a man that's buying for me. Cause if I did, I don't know. I probably couldn't sleep in my room because it'd be too much stuff. Oh, and I seen your babies, Millie. You have pretty babies too. I'm like, oh my God. Every time I see your babies, Serenity and Bippies, everybody's babies. And they're so different, and I just like, oh, love the baby. Oh, I love the baby. Oh, I love the baby. And it's like they're gorgeous. And I hear, people talking about, oh, this copy that, oh, that copy that. It don't even matter. You know, I try not to, I don't get into the scopes like everybody knows that I can look at that scope and say that's a copy of that scope or whatever. But all of them are so pretty, different colors. Even the fantasy babies, I like those, the piggies and everything. I think they're cute. I don't think I'd do a piggy. I might eventually, but I think I do the fairies and stuff like that. And I would have a little corner with fairy stuff. But I love the babies. I do. I've always loved dogs. My cousin thinks they're creepy, especially the ones with eyes. She said, "Oh no, that baby's looking at me," and it's so funny. That baby's looking at me. But you know, you had Bunny Brown dog. I don't know. I don't know who Bunny. I mean, I heard the name, but I've never just really researched Bunny Brown. I think I know more about Claire Taylor from Serenity's channel, because she's really a Claire Taylor lover, and I've learned to see hers. Um, but Bunny Brown, I wouldn't know, of her. In what's the other one they talk about? Now Laura Sant. Whoa, what's her name? Oh, what's her name? Laura San Mills, or you know who I'm talking about? I had a run in with her at one point. Somehow asking her, and she kind of gave me some funny attitude, and I just didn't check it. Yeah, yeah, Laura Miller Sands, her. And I never really looked back at her, and I don't know if she was having a bad day or if she was going through something, and maybe somebody else they had been bothering her. Because I know when you that kind of big, people bug you, and you may um say the wrong thing to the wrong person, not knowing who that person is. She reacted to me kind of nasty, and so I kind of didn't deal with her again. Well, I don't know. I mean, you got her on a good day, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm not. If I ever run into her again and she acts differently and we talk or something, I'll probably let her know. you know, I didn't really care for you before, but I guess you're okay. Maybe you was having a bad day that day, because she wasn't want to answer nothing for me, and I was actually looking at her because you know she well, I don't know, that day. I mean, I was just asking simple questions. I kind of tried to tell her that I was new to it, and which I was at the time. At that time, she was the very first person I reached out to, and I reached out to her from Facebook, and she did this snappy thing with me, and I just said, "Oh well," you know. And it was all I was just asking her was how much did her dolls run, and kind of, because I was new to this, and kind of give me a feel of what was going on, because I reached out to her before I reached out to the doll connection store, and I just really didn't know how much the dolls were. I didn't know much about the dolls. I just know that they were gorgeous and they were so realistic. And years prior, I was gonna get a doll, but I had my kids, so I didn't ever buy the doll. And she 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 just, I don't know. She could have been mad. I mean, she didn't curse me out or nothing like that. It was just the way she reacted to my questions, how she snapped back. And I just I I don't do confrontation. I don't get into the drama. So I wasn't gonna force her to understand me and to, give me a better understanding. I just let it be. And I thought her daughters were cute then. I might, but I mean, now that I'm, you know, being bold enough to do it myself, I don't know if I will. If I ever meet her at a doll show or something, I probably will talk to her because I want to go to the doll show to really see and experience all the dolls and the different. Yeah, it could have been. That's why I was saying she may have been having a bad day that day, and maybe I said something that rubbed her the wrong way, or she thought maybe I was trying to get a free doll out of her, which I wasn't trying to, because I said, well, what did I tell her? I said something, and she says, "Oh no, I don't do boo boo babies." I'm like, I didn't say anything about a boo. I didn't even know what a boo boo baby was at the time. And then as I learned what a boo boo baby was, that's why I call my channel Boo Boo Babies, because they're not perfect. And I said, well, maybe somebody had been asking her for a free doll or something, over the period of time. But I didn't ever reach out back out to her, because I didn't at that point. I talked to Ann Day at Doll Connection, and she was so nice, and she was trying to explain to me, more, and she was seeing it. So I didn't know, you know, I didn't know her from Adam, Eve, Steve, or Janet, or nothing. I didn't know her from that, and I was trying to explain to her I didn't know. I really didn't know, and I wasn't trying to be funny. When you don't know, you just don't know. You know, and I've just never looked back. I mean, I'm not mad at her. I don't know if at that point I didn't know if I would ever deal with her, and you know, I've never bashed her or said anything terrible. I just figured maybe she was just having a bad day. And then when I heard some other people saying some things, I'm like, okay, maybe she was a little snappy. But then, then later on, I heard other people saying other things that were nice. And I'm like, well, maybe she was just having a bad day that day. But if anything, it would have to be in person. I wouldn't reach out to her at this point. It would have to be in person where I saw her babies and we were talking and she was nice, and then, I let her know, what happened, and that kind of thing. That's how that would happen. Because I'm enjoying doing it myself. I do love doing it myself. I I'm actually getting into this whole looking at the face. Like when I see a baby now, I'm looking at details of the baby to figure out how to actually sculpt one now. You know, Well, yeah, I do okay. I do okay, but I'm my worst critic, and I'm looking at that saying, "Oh, I could have did that a little deeper in the temple," or "Okay, the eyes are a little too close," and I actually do things like that. And so, when I look at a baby and I look at the dimensions of what I'm looking at, then I know it's offset a little bit, and that's where I probably, if I had been to a doll show and could have looked at dolls, I probably would have did the first sculpt a whole lot better, and the second sculpt would have probably been almost perfect. And then, so once I get there and learn that, or maybe even find a sculptor, I probably can do a whole lot better. It is hard. It is hard. I mean, it's hard, but for me, it's not hard because um I do have a little bit of an artistic side, and I actually see angles in a different way. Like I look at Serenity, and I tell her all the time, she has that color. She knows how to get the coloring. But with me, the sculpting is probably more of my uh, more of my deal. That probably would be more of what I would get out of the hobby itself, is actually making a sculpt. The painting and the coloring, I struggle with that. because I know when I'm looking at it, it's something's not right, and I can't pinpoint what that is. Whereas somebody who paints, like Serenity's been painting, she can look at it and she can say, "Oh, I need some more blushing here. I need some more shading here." And I can actually see when she paints, even like when she was painting on one of her lives, I can see how she strokes her brush and how she's looking, and you can see the focus. I can't naturally do that. It takes me a long time to catch it, and I have to keep going back. But on the sculpt, if I'm looking at something and I set it in my mind, I have, I'm seeing more when I look at those babies what I messed up on. And it's a process. It's a learning thing. And you know, I lo- I lo- I love pushing myself. You know, I'm one of them kind that if um I do it again, it's got to be better than the last time. If I do it again, it's got to be better. I gotta fix that this next time. And that's just who I am. Maybe my parents did that, but yeah, it's I have to push myself, or if I don't push me, who's gonna push me? You know. So, but I'll get it. I'll get it. Uh, Actually, sculpting is easy for me. I mean, the sculpting is hard for, I guess, what somebody's seeing is different. I can't do the coloring. I can't. I have a hard time getting the depth. But as far as understanding the bridge of a nose and the flare of the nose and the different types of nose, I understand that better. And I kind of always understood angles and stuff like that. But I'm more of a, one of my teacher told me back years ago that I see those things, but I don't see color, in the shading. I see it, but not in a different depth. So, like when I'm looking at her, I can see all the indentions that they did on the sculpt, and I can actually see that, and I can put in my head and mimic that if I want to. But I can't when I'm looking at like my grandbaby. When I'm looking at her color, I have to look at it 3 or 4 times just to grasp that. So I guess it's it's your passion of who you are and what you see. It's everybody can't be perfect at the same things. That's why we're all so different. I could give somebody else a pointer on certain things, but they can give me a pointer on other things. And that's why everybody should be able to be themselves. That we're going on to that individual thing now, and they should be able to help each other out because you know everybody can learn something. But the sculpting part is that's what I enjoy. That was the sculpting and the molding is the part that I really enjoy. And it sounds crazy, but just creating the shape and the fingers and stuff, it sounds crazy. You only buy why, Mildy? Haven't you sold a couple of your babies though? Or did you give them away? I forgot. Oh, you traded. Well, I mean that's still good because you're changing back and forth. That's good. So you don't have the same baby all the time. Yeah, giving them away is wonderful too. Like tonight, if I had one to give away, there was a lady that got scammed in Jody's live. She got scammed, and if I could have given her a baby, I would have gave her one. Why you say full silicone doll? Ooh, 500. That's pretty good. Is it a good sculpt? Is it a nice sculpt? Open eye or sleeper? I like the sleepers. I don't know. I'm partial to sleepers actually. Why was it bad, Millie? What was wrong with the baby? Oh, you traded a. You got rid of your silicone. Oh, well, wow. Oh, wow. It was too heavy. Yeah, I think, and honestly, I think the softer silicone it feels like it's lighter than the 20 or 20, you know, 20s and stuff. But I think when they're floppy, they're lighter. They feel lighter because of the way the weight falls. When they're solid silicone or different, they're heavier. Kind of like you filling a reborn up with nothing but glass beads. It gets too heavy. I think the weight of the silicone makes a difference too. You know, as far as if it's a 10, 20, or 30. But I've been thinking about how to do a silicone to where they're open in the inside. Something lighter. Yeah. Well, but you like all different dolls though. Yours are not all on the same. They're different. You know, some people have the same kind of dolls in theirs. Yeah, partial silicone won't be as heavy. Um, they're changing the silicone now to where it's different. So I don't know. I bet you sooner or later somebody's gonna figure out how to do the silicone hollow in the belly, hollowed out to where it's not heavy, or they're gonna do armatures to where they're light, make the doll lighter. Well, we'll see. We'll try. I mean, you've known her for a while, so you know. Yeah, yeah. Her dolls. I mean, in the last couple years, I think I saw one at a doll show, and I saw they had a segment of her on the doll show this past time, I think, where she was showing her babies, and she has progressed a lot on her looks. I just don't follow her like that. But I think her babies are cute. She does real good with the skin tones. Yeah. Two oaks. See, I don't even know what's the difference with the oak and the vinyl. So what's the difference between an oak, a vinyl, and some more not porcelain, just clay? Okay. Okay. Every time I see that, I'm like, I think that's Clay. I'm gonna have to get to one of the doll shows. I know that the Rose and the ITBS, and then that there, I guess Jackie and Stephanie are gonna do a doll show in California sometime or another. And then I guess I need to start checking around and seeing what other kind of doll shows there are and where they are. I I need to do something a little different. Something a little different. Cause I'll never know if I don't do that. Yeah. Well, I gotta get to one. I gotta get to at least one. And that one, is that the one in Utah or Florida? Cause I get those two, Rose and IDTS, mixed up. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to go to one of them. I really got to go, but I'm scared if I go, if I go, I'm not taking a lot of money with me 'cause I'll end up buying something. Yeah, I don't need no more babies. 10 is enough. I can't get too far into it. That's enough babies for me. Maybe I'll buy some accessories and that kind of thing, but I don't need no more babies. Here I am swallowing her like I did my grandbaby the other day. But I'm gonna get my happy-go-lucky booty off this phone. I mean, off the phone, off the live. I just wanted to come on, kind of let everybody know kind of what was going on with me. Yeah, yeah. I'm fixing home, finding me a new job because they let me go week after. Well, not this past Saturday, week before. Um, it's allowed me to rethink some things. I know I'm probably not going back to retail. Um, people, if you don't have the right managers, um, customers can really get you um in a predicament. Yeah, as hard as I work, all y'all kept hearing me tell me, "Oh, I gotta go to work. I'm on my way to work. I'm on somebody's live. I gotta go get back to work." Yeah, well, I can't look at it negatively. I mean, it did bother me because I gave them almost 10 years. And to have one manager just go in on me, and I really don't know if it was a color thing, a female male thing, if he just didn't like me. I don't know what it was because what he what I got fired for was customer complaints and some little bitty stickers that went on the shelf. They were called 8 ups, and you put them on the shelf to, and they might say extravaganza sale or organic sale, something like that. They had nothing to do with pricing, which is more important because you're selling. And even though I could put up all the other parts of the ad, if I didn't just do those little things, he wrote me up every time he could. So it was little stupid things. It wasn't about me opening and closing the doors. It wasn't about me putting the alarms on. It wasn't about me messing up that way. Uh, Almost 10 years. It was 9 years and 8 months. And um, I mean, I opened and closed the store. I could be the only manager there in the whole store, and they would leave, be gone. You know, one manager, he had to get out of his bed twice to turn the alarm off. So no, it's not right. It's really not right. But then it kind of gave me a insight on life a little bit, Millie, because it let me know that you know everybody's not, but it also let me know that everybody's not going to be fair to me. And I probably should have did something years ago, business management my own or something. If I was gonna, stay in retail, should have my own store or something. But I'm at this point where I'm 51 now, and I, I just need to leave retail alone. If I need to go to the hospital and work for, the rest of just till I'm 65, something like that to have insurance and do that, then that's fine. And it wasn't right. Everybody in the store that knows me, they said that was wrong. Except for a few of them that would kind of had they look community in the reborn community, everybody has their little cliques, and they don't allow people to be who they are, and if they're not agreeing with them, then they bash them. Same thing. I mean, it happens in retail too. One in particular today, I went to the unemployment office, and one of the women that kept acting crazy with me, and so she saw me, her eyes got big as think she like looking at me like, is that her? And she took off way around the way and way to the back, running from me. It was crazy. Yeah, it hurts. It bothers me when I get through the lines. I leave because I had, as a manager, I had other things to do. I'm, hey, I'm okay with it now. I've accepted it. I'm thinking about going to office, the hospital, maybe the airport. I need to get away from, customer service retail, period, whether it's a grocery store. I don't need to do any of that. Not close, even because even when I go in the stores, I actually tell people um, when they're going off on cashiers or something, I actually tell them off because I know what position they're in and how they can't say anything, and this customer can just take their life, from them just by a complaint, and the managers decide they don't like it. So, I protected a lot of my people at the store, and I think that's why, they're upset because I did. I protected a lot of them. um, I wouldn't let the customers scream at my people. You're not screaming at my people, because they're doing you a service, and you shouldn't, act out because you're upset or something else that happens. And um, something else. So, but I'm going to take myself to bed. I may do another live, soon. I'm not gonna say when because, with me, I'm helping my cousin, her son, and her two daughters, and my son is here, so I have a house full, and thank God for that, though. So I will talk to you guys later. Good night, hugs and dolly kisses and well wishes. All right. Good night.